Hey everyone, today I'm working on the Lone Wolf climbing stick mod video and I'm trying out the new GoPro Hero 8 Black that I just picked up as well at the same time filming this intro. So I just want to go over a quick list of things you're going to need for the mod if you're going to do it yourself. You're going to want 7/16" wrenches. I used a gear wrench too just to speed things up. A 3/16 Allen wrench or a ratchet with an Allen bit. You could use a hacksaw. I use a die grinder with a cutting wheel, even though you're not supposed to on aluminum because the wheel can explode, to make my cuts for the sticks. And then you're going to need a file to clean up those cuts. I put a roto disc on a die grinder, hooked up to my air compressor just to scuff everything down before I painted it. You're going to want oil and grease remover to remove anything off the surface before you paint it. With that being said, if you don't have an air compressor, you can use a hacksaw. They're pretty cheap to make your cuts. And as far as scuffing things up go, you can just get like 150 grit sandpaper and run it over by hand. Other than that, you're going to need a 1/4" drill bit to bore your holes through each stick, and a drill or a drill press. So once you have all those things in line, you can pretty much follow the measurements on this video and shrink up those 32" Lone Wolf sticks to something that's way more manageable, as you can see here in the background on my backpack. So that's what I'm going to be running this season. Hope you liked the video. Let me know down below what you think, and hopefully we can bring some more DIY gear videos to you soon.
So I'm going to start the Lone Wolf stick mod that I was talking about in the stick review video. And I got a little bit of time today to do this, but anyways, I'll be filming it in phases. It's going to be pretty much quick clips of the steps throughout, and then I'll explain why. I'll do a voiceover why on those clips. I'll be deleting this strap, deleting a whole set of steps, relocating this stuff down here, making the entire pack of sticks about this long, and making them more packable. And then I will be buying and adding a 4th stick and a couple cross bolts to keep everything tight. Stay tuned, and hope you like it. Alright, so your bores here are 1/4", nice and tight, and it looks like those are consistent all the way through. So when I do my relocating of the brackets, I will be relocating a Versa button to down here, and then just about where the Versa button is, I'll bore another hole right below it at the same gap here, which we'll take that measurement right now. It's roughly 3/4 inch. I'll put a scale on it and I'll see exactly what it measures in at. I will blow a 1/4" hole through here, 3/4 inch on center, just like this is. Move the top step down to here, have about that 1/2 inch space in front of the top step, just like this stick does here. Anyway, relocate the Versa button, relocate the step. The overall stick's going to be about that long, which I believe comes in at about 23.5 inches. And it will be a more compact, user-friendly stick. Now, as far as what hole to choose from here, your overall stick length is 32 inches. The original Versa button hole was about 22.5, so you'd say about 10 to 11 inches on average as far as breaking up the stick, and that sits at about 2/3 of the stick. So going about 2/3 of roughly 23, 24, we'll call it, we will drop back to the 16" mark rather than a little high. So it's going to be about 15 3/4. I'm going to use the existing strap hole now for the Versa button. And that should give us, on average, the same pull on the tree as the existing hole would be at a full-length stick. Now, for your bolt and washer assembly, when you install the step back on, you're going to be running one of the small poly washers at the hex head, then the step, then the bigger washer that goes between the step and the stick. We're going to send that through, followed by the other washer on the other side, and the hex nut. Now, the reason why we're blowing that other hole through here at 3/4 inch on center away is because this step still needs that head to stop. When you come out, it needs that pin in the center to stop that step. So that step will be the top step. Altogether, this mod's going to involve one cut, some filing, 1/4 inch hole. Other than that, some shuffling of some hardware, and then you can dip it as you please. Alright, so after a little bit of looking, I don't think it's epoxied, so let's see how well this comes out. Perfect. Just use the fat end of the extension, and she slid right out. Alright, so we get that cap all fitted in there, filed down. Since they just push right out, I'll disassemble this stick come time to hydro dip. Anyways, time for the construction. So I'm going to take whichever step's in better shape, the longer of the 2 bolts. Make sure there's no metal filings on the threads itself. I'm going to drop that step on there. Don't forget about the big washer. This did have a second big washer here. And then we go, so it goes bolt, little washer, step, big washer, stick, big washer, the tree bracket, little washer, and then hex nut. So this is now the stick we have versus the original 32. Now you do only have a 2-step stick at this point instead of a 3, but way more packable. Alright, so here we are, 3 sticks, said and done. Let's see, it took me less than an hour to mod 3 sticks. And this was my first time doing it. And right now these are measuring, let's go widest point, so at the tree brackets, 6.5 inches wide with 3. Widest point at the brackets. Now overall top to bottom with the step flipped up, we're at 30. We're still less than 1 full length stick. Now a full length stick's 32 plus another 4 for the bracket, so for the step, so that's 36 inches. You're going 3 feet down to with the stand kicked up 30 inches. So 2.5 feet, you're losing half a foot. My backpack is 17 inches tall and 11 inches wide. So that there is my backpack. So I'm going to have just about 4 inches, 4 or 5 inches once I have a 4th stick hanging off each side. Now that's definitely not going to make contact with my tailbone. It's definitely not going to make contact with the back of my head. And my body will cover anything that's going to want to grab on that. Alright, so far with 3, I want to show you what I'm looking at. So, my bag's going to be a little more rigid, so they will stick off my back a little more. But that's pretty much how they're going to sit. That's not how I'm going to secure them, but that's how I have it for now. This fits right in my bag, so I'll put this in. And I'm going to figure out a way to pack some other things that will fill this back void so this doesn't move around in my pack. But anyways, for the most part, this weighs next to nothing. And even if I were to see a deer on the walk in or out, I would have no problem drawing and shooting with this on my back. So nice and light, way lighter than carrying a climber, hands down, period. And don't have to pick trees. You can pretty much virtually sit anywhere. And yeah, it's definitely going to be my go-to for the 2020 season. Alright, so back to it. The 4th stick just came in. I ordered this one off Amazon because it was $50 and free shipping versus $60 and $10 flat rate shipping. As you can see, there's a little bit of a hole right there that's been taped over. So let's see what kind of condition this thing's in. Give it a once over here. That looks good. Has all the parts and pieces, no damage. Alright, so reassembling the Predator platform here. These plastic washers, I just want to point this out, they are tapered because of these wings. They come out at a little bit of an angle. So you want the fatter portion of those facing up. Going to grab a quick shot here of one of these sticks before it's fully assembled against that piece of hardwood. Pretty close. Now the reason why I went with dusting these over, besides way easier than hydro dipping, is I was worried about, see these vertical lines? I was worried about dipping this and having them come out horizontal or diagonal. And as we know, out in the wilderness, it's a world of verticals. So we are gonna try running with this, and it should do pretty good.